We can go questions.
Well, you guys shoot 28.9% in the second half, 15.4 from three, and in the game, your free throw percentage 43.5. Those are all the numbers you talk about you want opposing teams to be at, especially in the second half because of the style of play. It's happened to you guys a couple times now where down the stretch you guys are the ones that either don't have legs or are just missing shots for some reason. Do you have an explanation why that may have happened tonight?
Yeah, I think obviously the free throws, shoot, I think we missed our first 6. I thought start of the game, we just kind of got off on that foot. I didn't really bring it up or talk about it after that, just because it was just weird to kind of go 0 for 6 off the bat on the free throw line. But then obviously down the stretch, it just kind of continued over the course of the game. You like to hope that those just kind of happen here and there, those kinds of games. As far as shots down the stretch, I thought we had some pretty good looks at the rim. We had some shots around the rim, missed kind of some layups, but we were getting to the free throw line and just unfortunately not completing those plays.
Do you feel that the style of play, though, was successful tonight because they didn't seem tired in the final 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Did the style of play accomplish what you're hoping it accomplishes?
Yeah, I don't necessarily look at. I wouldn't take that necessarily from this game. I thought we made a nice run there in the middle of the second half, and then I thought they responded very well to it. Made some plays, made some shots. We finally started taking care of the ball a little bit during that stretch. But I don't necessarily feel like when you miss the first 6 free throws of the game, I don't think that's legs. You know what I mean? I think for whatever reason it just maybe it was one of those nights where we just kind of got something in our mind with a few guys, just couldn't make those free throws.
Are you happy with how you guys played around the rim, though? I know you mentioned it briefly, but still some struggles kind of finishing around the rim. Is there any kind of gun-shy sort of mentality that some of your bigs are having around the rim right now?
I think it's probably, unfortunately, just getting used to it. I think as the game went on, we were able to get the ball inside a lot more as the game progressed and got better looks. We still kind of have some habits down there that I don't love, but I thought there was progress there. I thought there was a much better approach to getting it in there from our perimeter players, and I thought we got better at that, but obviously not better enough. You'd like to be able to kind of get to the free throw line a little bit more when you're getting it down there. And from what I saw, you feel like some of those are, but that wasn't the difference here. We just couldn't quite close it out.
What do you think defensively, your implementation of the zone?
What was that, sorry?
What do you think of your zone defense?
For 2 days, I thought it was pretty good. I think based on a lot of different things we were looking at, it was just something that we felt we needed to go to. We did. It was great in the first half, had almost double the success rate of our man. And then early in that second half, they were scoring against our man. So we went to a stretch there where we were trying to get into our zone even more. And then we probably stayed in it a little too long. I thought they got into a little bit of a rhythm there towards the end of the second half in that, and then we kind of went back from there.
Did you have a count on how often you went zone?
At halftime, I don't have it in front of me. We have it. At halftime, it was about split.
Paul, the technical, you showed a lot of emotion. That's something we haven't really seen of you on the court. Just what's going through your mind? What was your point right there?
I saw Henry T. And look, at the end of the day, we don't have a margin for error. We just don't. Our team does not go into games playing on this large cushion. So every possession really matters. And I'm trying to implore that amongst our team that we every single thing out there matters. And I obviously inherently feel that anyways. And when you see a play like that and you see what you see, you understand the importance of it. And it may seem trivial at the time to some, but those are very important plays. When you miss things, those things matter to us. When you have a one-possession game lost to New Mexico State, when you have a one-possession game lost to Colorado, when you're in these games that are just single kind of possessions, and you go back and look at the film and think like, gosh, like those hurt. Like they really, really hurt. And in the moment, I'm feeling that hurt because I know what this means later on down the game. So obviously not the kind of behavior I intend to do, not something I'm proud of. But I just, the value in that moment of watching what I'm watching, it obviously got the best of me.
Penn was coming in with that win against Villanova. Do you feel like your team maybe was a little bit nervous at the beginning because they weren't playing that well?
I wish. I unfortunately don't feel that way. I told my team after the game, I think they initially, me up until the Northern Arizona scrimmage, read what everybody wrote about us and seemed to think that wins were just going to happen. The night of the Northern Arizona game, I got off social media, I slept in my office, and I knew what I saw then was scary. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to put that same fear into our guys. I don't think that was the case. I think, unfortunately, they thought the opposite. And I hope we're done with that now after the conversation we just had. We're not good as favorites, clearly, or thinking that we are. We have to take a completely different approach. I have to take a completely different approach to a different mentality, and hope that will at least change the course of where this team is going.
Well, back to that technically, you said it was ignited by that play, but it sure sounds like that was weeks worth of frustration. It just came out right there real quick.
I told the guys at halftime it probably was to some extent, but again, like those, every loose ball is the difference for us. We're not 12-point favorites in this game. We're not. And trying to convey to these young men the urgency of every single possession is something I'm trying to do every single time we're out there. And when a call like that happens and you know the value of that play, a charge is a very, very big play. Not only for us and our team and what we're about, and a guy trying to take one and the other team getting a foul and the momentum. So I guess you probably merge those two things together. And unfortunately, I behaved the way I did.
Coach, the last two teams that have come in here have had significant amount of time to prepare, and both coaches said that was tremendously helpful for them getting ready for the style that you guys play. What are your thoughts on just how significant that is?
For sure. I could sit here and give a lot of reasons for a lot of things about where we're at right now, and that would be one of them. I could give a litany of them, and they're great reasons. It's a great reason why Penn was sharp and looked good tonight. Same reason why North Texas. Same reason why we played North Texas on 48 hours. Same reason why we played Colorado in finals. I could give all those things that will kind of give us rationale for maybe why the games didn't go the way they went. But unfortunately, that's not the business I'm in. That's not what we're judged on. That's not what our goal is to do. Our goal is to win. And at the end of the day, we have to overcome whatever those happen to be in order to win the basketball game. And right now, we're not doing that.
Carlton took one shot in the first half, took 8 shots in the second half, so he was much more active in the second half. But conversely, Anthony really struggled in the second half. Is that a schematic thing? What exactly is happening there?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony, unfortunately, we I don't even want to look. Yeah, we wanted to keep him under 20. His foot's been bothering him. He had food poisoning. It was literally up to game time on him. The goal was to keep him at 20. We just haven't been able to get enough guard play right now. And he's such a competitor. He doesn't want to come out. And I think for sure with him, just didn't quite have the legs tonight to probably finish the game the way we would have wanted him to.
So, I mean, obviously a tough loss at home, but that's a good opponent, 10-win team. We know this team has potential. What did you like? I mean, out of that first run they had in the first half, midway through, I mean, they look good. You got to have some sort of positive obviously, too.
Next question.
Talked about guard play. We need guard play. And
we do.
Anthony played 33 minutes.
Yeah.
Drew Green, I know single game plus minus. I get how deceiving that can be.
Yeah.
You got one player today who had a +8, and he played 11 minutes. And Drew seemed, from my perspective, to be playing well the last few games. Why is he only playing 11 minutes if you need more guards out there?
That's a great question. I think when you look over the totality of the season, And really, you look at a lot of teams, not just us. If you want to even just go on plus minus, like you mentioned, our plus minus for the season is mostly stratified by experience. At the end of the day, our older guys are at the top, and our younger guys are towards near the bottom. And what we've been trying to do, or what we intended on doing, was just trying to get more experience on the court in this intermediary period of trying to continue to kind of grow as a team and play just more older guys. Everyone else is older. Everyone else is more experienced, and trying to match that a little bit more and just trying to bring our younger guys along slowly. So he does have a plus minus like that. Unfortunately, prior to it, it's been a lot lower, and I think maybe managing them a little bit differently to where it is less and they can grow, as opposed to just throwing them out every night to the wolves, I think has been a detriment to them and their individual plus minuses, as well as just our overall team.
We'll follow up then on the guards. Dane, 2 games in a row now sitting out. You're mentioning Anthony with the foot. First of all, is Dane going to be ready for the non-conference finale next Sunday? But also, is Anthony possibly going to be sitting out? And the timing of this break sounds like it comes at a good time.
I don't think so. Anthony has, like what's been told to me, a soft tissue injury to his foot. He took days off from practice in order to rest it. It's nothing significant. It's nothing serious. I was promised by medical staff that it would never lead to anything if he played tonight. He really, really wanted to play. When the food poisoning came down, I also had another opportunity to say, hey, man, you can really just take this. But he's a competitor, and he really wanted to play, and I wasn't going to take that away from him. And hopefully, as this break and other things happen, not only getting rest, but getting these younger guys more reps and getting our guard play to where we need it. Dane, I wish I could tell you. It has not improved significantly enough to probably even start to have those conversations right now. That's my understanding.
Coach, how does your team feel mentally, physically, spiritually right now?
I love it, Henry. You always come in, man. You always come in. I don't know if I can answer, Henry. Last time you asked something like this at the same time, I think I still got the bruise there. That's a great question. It's been, gosh. You always hit them. You're like Cassell. You know what I mean? You always ask the right one at the right time. I really believe in this team. It sounds weird, but I really do. There's probably maybe not a lot of reasons to, but I do. We have enough. We have enough. I've probably not done the greatest job of piecing together this the right way. We did some things today that I thought were a sign of how we're going to change piecing this together a little bit, and all we can do is continue to do that, as far as we being me and the rest of the coaching staff. What I need now is for players to also kind of start to embody the same kind of attitude and say, like, we're not giving up, we're not going home, we're not pointing fingers, we're just going to find our way out of this thing. Bad stuff happens in life, and bad stuff's happened to this team. But there's nothing else we can do other than work and grind our way out of it, and I'm just hopeful that we can still capture that with this group. We're lucky. We have an amazing fan base. We had 11,000 people on a Sunday, or I don't even know what day it is, after students are gone. I mean, we're lucky. I'm lucky. I get paid a ridiculous amount of money to coach the Lobo basketball team. These guys get to wear the uniforms and play in front of 11,000 people when they've just come off some disappointing losses. The only thing we can do is just fight back. The only thing we can do is just give it everything we got. And I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to extract that out of these guys, and they're willing to meet me halfway so that we can do this in lockstep, not me 3 steps ahead saying, come on, do this, come on, do this, come on, do this. We're all going together. And that's what I just told the guys after the game. I didn't have to send guys to a treadmill last year. They went anyways. I didn't have to say we're running the pit. They asked to run the pit. I didn't have to do things like that. Team bought into what we were doing. I just haven't quite got there yet with these guys, and I've got to get there, and we've got to get there and do everything we can to get there.